Installing the fuser maintenance kit on the Lexmark T520 and 522 printers. Be sure you turn your printer off and allow it to cool for 30 minutes before you start the procedure. Switch off the power and remove your power cord. Remove the fuser cover wick and remove the redrive cap. The rear redrive door will snap off. It lifts away from the redrive. Remove the 2 screws on the rear redrive. Once the 2 screws have been removed, you can grasp the 2 clips at the top and the redrive will fall away from the unit. There are 2 tabs, one located on each side of the fuser. Remove the 2 screws, one on each tab. You'll then want to remove the ground screw. And then you'll want to remove the 2 low voltage power supply screws just below the ground screw. Unplug the sensor cable. Now we're going to remove the right side cover. Move around to the front, remove your toner cartridge, and remove the screw on the right cover and the lower clip. Move around to the back and remove the screw on the rear side of the right cover. You can then lift your right cover away from the printer and it comes off. You can grasp the power supply with a needle nose plier and it slides out of the tray. Locate the power cable, unplug it, and remove it from the guide in the chassis. Once the power supply cable is free, you can slide the fuser out. Watch your sensor cable, move it out of the way. You can then take your old fuser and with some needle nose pliers remove the power cable from the upper connector, unwrap it from the guide, and also you can disconnect it from the lower connector. Unwrap your power cable off of your old fuser and pull it through the guide. Okay, take your new fuser and remove the wedges that take the spring tension off the roller. Insert the power cable through the guide. Connect the short cable to the lower connector. The upper cable, wrap it through the guides and connect it to the upper connector. Take your new fuser, move the sensor cable out of the way, slide it in, route the sensor cable through the guide, and plug in the sensor cable. You can then route the power cable through the guide in the frame, plug it into the connector on the low voltage power supply. Slide your power supply back in. If you hold the power supply in, you can then align it with the screws on the bottom in the back. Reinsert your power supply screws. Reinsert your fuser screws. You can take your side cover, locate the guides in the frame, and just fold it right up and snap it on. Reinsert your screw on the front, and reinsert the screw on the rear of the right cover. Reattach your ground screw, snap in your redrive, reinsert your screws into the redrive, reattach the redrive door and the redrive cap, and then the fuser cover wick. Okay, insert a flat blade screwdriver in the front of the printer right underneath the left side of the transfer roller and lift the roller out. Take your new transfer roller, careful not to touch any of the surfaces on the transfer roller, and reinsert it on the right. It will mesh with the gears on the right, and then snap it in on the left. If you push down the top door, you'll see the charge roller lower slightly. You can spread the guide slightly and the charge roller will fall away from the guides. Take your new charge roller, careful not to touch any of the surfaces on the charge roller, and reinsert it into the guides. It's easy if you lower the door a little bit. It gives you some extra room to work in there. Snap the roller into the guide. You reinsert your toner cartridge. Next, you want to pull your paper tray out, locate the pick arm, and you want to drop down the pick arm, locate the clip on the inside hub of the tire, squeeze the clip and the tires will fall off the shaft. Take your new tires, arrows down facing you, reinsert them on the shaft on the groove. Once your tires are inserted, you can reinsert your paper tray, and we're ready to reset our maintenance count. You want to hold in the select and return button and then power the printer on. Once you see the dots, you can release your fingers from the select and return, and you'll see config menu. You can press either the menu left or menu right, it doesn't matter. And then you'll see reset maintenance count. You want to press the select key twice. Now that the counter's been reset, you press the menu left till you see exit config menu, then press select. It'll activate the changes and reset the printer. Your printer will reset and the procedure is complete.